Hi there, I am the Director of Community Outreach. This is Debbie Nicholson coming to you from BeatCancer. And I am here this morning with one of our wonderful coaches, Jackie Bai. And I couldn't wait to interview her because I really want you to get to know her and her story. So welcome, Jackie. It's so nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Debbie. It's fabulous to be here with you. It's a beautiful day in Minnesota today, so I chose to stand outside. Yes,
wow.
Yes, it's very beautiful. I feel very blessed to live here. Our house used to be in our family. My grandma and grandpa lived here. It was a small cabin. My parents moved in, and then they moved out when they got older, and my family, we were able to move in. So I feel very blessed to be here and love to be outside.
You're almost forest bathing right at your own house.
Yes, I'm going to say that. Forest bathing right here as I'm talking to you. Yeah.
That's amazing, and the sun shining, really nice.
And the birds, if you hear the birds, that's
yes, and it's so wonderful. You know, it's wonderful that you're out in the sunshine and nature doing this interview. That's so healthy.
Yes.
Oh, that's awesome.
And that's a big part of me too, is being out in nature. It's where I feel most comfortable. I'm grounding as well as talking. Right. I got bare feet. My husband said, "Aren't you going to put shoes on?" I said, "No, they're not going to see my feet." I think grounding is so important as well.
It is really important. You're hitting a lot of bases this morning.
Yes, and we just started 2 minutes in. Yeah.
I love it. So tell us about you and how you came to want to help people heal holistically from cancer. Let us know a little bit about you and what your background is.
Sure, really good question. Of all people, my friends, my family would say, I would never have dreamt that you would have cancer, Jackie. And so when I was diagnosed in 2016, it came as a complete shock, complete surprise. Stopped me in my tracks, stopped my family in my tracks and my friends, because everyone that knows me knows that I'm into health, exercise, taking care of myself and my family. I'm one that I bought no lead dishes a few years ago, and my sister said, "Who does that?" I do that because I'm taking care of myself and my family. It's always been really important. But to back up the boat a bit, I've always been one that's like to take care of people. I've been the people pleaser, which I think goes along with breast cancer too. That is that type of personality. I went to the Peace Corps after I left college. And when I was in there, I was diagnosed with amoebas and giardia and parasites. And then on top of that, I pulled out my card the other day. I found it from the Peace Corps with all the immunizations. And it was a card that I pulled open. And I had about 40 immunizations when I was in the Peace Corps as well. So I think at that point, my body got really run down, my immune system as well. When I got back from the Peace Corps, my sister said, and my mom said, "Jackie, you've never been the same." I didn't have the energy. I didn't have the drive. I was 28 when I got back from the Peace Corps, and after work, I would go to bed. And how many 28-year-olds are going to bed after work? I was zonked. I had no energy. And so eventually I got married, had kids. The energy level never really came back. And so 2016, fast forward ahead, I have teenagers, running, chauffeuring my kids, stressful job, not eating well, not sleeping well. And so with that type of setup, you know that something's going to happen. And it did. That's when I was diagnosed with cancer. I was not expecting it by any means. And so it definitely came as a shock. But what I think is important to look for the source of the cancer. And my doctor shared I had a perfect storm between my gut. We'd spoken about the biome before we started videotaping, between my gut with the parasites, the amoebas, the giardia. And then I also had some root canals that need to be cleaned up. I had a cavitation. And I had a reamer that was actually left in from my root canal. So I got my mouth cleaned up too. I choose not to do.
How did you know you had a cavitation?
I went to a biodentist. I do thermography. And after my thermography appointment, it's all been divine intervention, Debbie. I can't explain how I came to this point really, except it was divine intervention. Doors kept opening for me to go this direction. And me with my personality being a people pleaser, for me to stand up to the conventional and to my conventional doctor and say, I'm not going to do chemotherapy. I'm not going to do radiation. I knew I was on fumes. I knew my body well enough. And ironically, about 3 years ago, or 3 years before I was diagnosed, I had watched just a snippet of The Truth About Cancer. My husband had it on. I remember saying vitamin C. And I thought if I ever was diagnosed with cancer, that's what I would do. I would do vitamin C. And for me to watch it, I rarely watch TV, but I remember that specifically. And so when this happened, I knew that radiation chemotherapy would not be for me. I did choose to do the surgery. I work with a DO. He felt it'd be good to debulk, and with all the reading and research, I felt that was important too. So I did have that removed. But once again, I chose not to do the chemotherapy and radiation and chose a more holistic way because the doors just opened for me. People presented themselves. My thermographer recommended the biodentist. She recommended a great book by Dr. Veronique, 7 Ways to Heal Cancer, which really started me on my journey as well. And then from there, people just kept coming into my path.
Did you have breast thermography? I'm just curious.
I did have breast thermography. I had that 10 years ago. I just did my breast, and then I started doing half body.
Okay.
So then they could see, actually 2 years before I got diagnosed, my thermographer said she could just see it coming down to here. And she said, you really need to get your teeth fixed up. And me being a busy mom, being healthy, said, oh, poof, I don't need to worry about that. I'm fine. I'm sure I'll rebound back. But then it did turn into the cancer between the H. pylori in my gut and then the H. pylori buildup in my my teeth.
Okay.
So I saw the biodentist, and then he knew of my doctor that I see in southern Minnesota, who's doing the ozone therapy, the vitamin C, the HOCATT, infra-red sauna, all of those. So that's how that came into my area for treatment.
So you had a lot of things you were doing.
Yes. And I think that's so important too. I think with our conventional approach, it's a one size fits all. And I think when you're going to treat the cancer, it has to be a multi-pronged approach versus the one size fits all, because all of our bodies are different. It's bioindividuality. What works for one person could be a poison for another person. And I even found that out too when I was doing my nutraceuticals. People hear you have cancer and they say, here, take turkey tail mushroom. Here, take turmeric, take this. And so I ended up with 3 grocery bags, Debbie, of nutraceuticals and supplements. And I started working with a kinesiologist, and I brought my bags in. I remember this, she looked at them like, what are you doing? And so she went through everything, and she said, this is making you toxic, Jackie. You need to scale back. It came down to my body wanted nothing. And she said, just green smoothies, keep eating the real food. So right then and there, I stopped all the nutraceuticals, the supplements. My body got a chance to heal with my smoothies that I love. I make smoothies every day. I have a Vitamix, and I make my green smoothies, and I drink them all throughout the day. I put them in my mason jar, put them in the cooler, put them in the refrigerator. So I always have something to eat.
And you're mostly beans and a little bit of fruit? Is that what you do?
At first, I did not do any sugar. I did not do any fruit. The person I was working with, my chiropractor kinesiologist, said, Jackie, there's no room for error with your diet. And so in a way, she put fear in me, but it was enough fear where I knew that I had to cut out the sugar right then and there. And then I went on the ketogenic diet. And at this point, I've lessened up because it was becoming stressful for me. It was becoming overwhelming to try to figure out what to eat and what to do. And so that's why I started this journey as well, because I'm finding that more and more moms are being diagnosed with cancer. The moms that I'm meeting at the clinic I go to, they might be doing the conventional route, and then they're realizing it's not working, it's not effective. So then they're coming to find my doctor in the clinic and trying the holistic, more alternative methods. And they say, I wish I would have done this in the beginning. I didn't know. And there's so many things that we don't know, and just told, you need to do the surgery, the radiation, the chemotherapy, the tamoxifen, maybe not in that order. But my message is that you've got time and you've got choices. And you don't know that when you first get diagnosed. For example, when I got diagnosed, I remember being down at the Mall of America, and my doctor called and said, I need you to come in right away. And I said, I can't. I'm in the cities right now. I'm not able to come in, which was actually perfect, I thought, because it gave me time to figure out a game plan. So I told her I can't come in. I need to talk to my family and my friends. And so time is important. Dr. Andrew Wheel will say, take at least 1 week to figure out your game plan. I would say take as long as you need to figure out what plan that you're comfortable with. It doesn't matter what your family say, what your friends say, but what really resonates with you. And I think also as females, we were blessed with a really good gut instinct. I knew the radiation, the chemotherapy was not for me. I knew I was on fumes. And so how my journey just opened up, it was me. And so I feel like what I've created is really good for me. But what I've created may not be good for somebody else. And so I created a website. I try to blog every week just about issues and things that you might be experiencing on your healing cancer journey. And that's why I call it a healing cancer journey. And I just actually put out a blog and a movement for heal breast cancer versus fighting cancer, because we're finding that it's counterproductive when you fight. When you fight anything, your body goes into that fight or flight mode, which means stress. And stress means chronic inflammation. The chronic inflammation leads to disease. And from disease, it can appear as cancer. It can appear as autoimmune diseases, whatever may arise.
Right. That's getting into the parasympathetic, that rest and digest where healing takes place is so important.
Yes.
Were there any of your favorite ways that you got into that state that helped with stress relief? Because making that switch can kind of be big.
It was really big.
Kind of a new way of life.
Yes, exactly. And many people will say, this was a blessing to have cancer. I don't know if I'd say it's a blessing, a wake-up call. Absolutely. My life needed to change. Type A personality, people pleaser. And so I've learned to more focus on me. I need to take care of myself. It's me first, my family, whereas before it was family first, everybody before myself. And so for me to take time and put it, for me, I knew I had to. And so for stress relief, I wake up in the morning. I'm blessed with 2 wonderful dogs, 2 cats. The 2 dogs go for a walk. We do the forest bathing. As I'm walking the dog, I have a beautiful walk I can take where the dogs can be off leash behind me. We walk around the pond. I do affirmations as I'm walking. I would say that was a game changer for me too. Louise Hay, my sister introduced me to Louise Hay, the affirmations, just to get my mind from fear, because when you're diagnosed with cancer, automatically fear, I believe, comes up, and that's the way that I think it's always presented to us from our doctors here. I did see a fascinating clip from The Truth About Cancer, 7 countries, 7 days, East in Asia, and I'm sure you may have seen that too, many others too. But I thought was fascinating was that the doctors say we need to heal the mind first. And that is so true, because I believe cancer, there's so much from the mind. We know it could be from the suppression of emotions, from stress, from holding back the resentment. And so to figure out where you're at with your mind, I think is so important and so critical on your healing journey. And so I try to do the mind work. So I do my walk in the morning. I will meditate for 15 minutes. I do yoga 20 minutes in the morning as well outside. I try to do it on the dock or right outside on the grass to get that extra grounding in. And then I will do rebounding as well. I try to do that maybe once or twice a week, because actually my feet hurt from doing it. When I first started doing it, I didn't know this. You're supposed to wear shoes. So wear shoes if you're going to rebound, because I started getting bunions and then my arches of my feet really hurt. So now I wear shoes and I'll bounce for about 15 minutes, and it's so much fun. I put on fun
I
music.
do it too. I love it. I
Yes.
drag it outside and I do it also.
Yeah. Oh, good for you.
It's fun.
And it is fun too. Yeah. I feel a little 80-ish, like Jane Fonda doing it, because I know it was really big in the 80s, but it's so much fun. You get on your good music and you feel like you're a rock star out there bouncing around on your...
Yeah, and you're cleaning every cell in the body. I mean, it's so amazing. There's nothing like it.
Exactly. So the stress part for me was difficult. I also do see a therapist, which I think is really important as well, because I felt really heavy emotionally. I felt heavy, with my husband, my kids, my friends, my family. I want to save those relationships, because cancer can be hard and it can be a roller coaster ride too. And so I want to keep my relationships with my kids at a healthy level. And so a treat to me then was just to see my therapist and just to share what's going on. And that's something I would definitely recommend for those with cancer.
Yeah, I can really relate to that. And I think a lot of women can, because we've become, we wear a lot of hats.
Yes.
And women with the movement, we've taken on a lot. And I think in this society, you get a lot of accolades for being able to take on a lot and conquer a lot.
Yes, to do it all.
It doesn't matter how beat down you are, as long as you got it all done.
Yes. And that was very much me before my diagnoses. I had a full inbox, and I remember someone saying, Jackie, your inbox will always be full. And I said, oh no, not my inbox. My inbox will be empty. And so I was always just going. And I've learned I need to nap in the afternoon, and that's okay. That's okay to take care of yourself, love yourself enough to nap or rest when you need it.
Right. I think some of this perfection, is kind of a distraction from nurturing ourselves.
Yes.
And I don't know if it's our society or what, but we don't learn that. We learn there's it's just, there's respect for working yourself to the bone, but we don't really learn how to nurture ourselves. And I wonder if that's why breast cancer is going up. And
Yes.
I saw you were writing that in your blog, and it's younger and younger women. I think that women share this type of personality and just the way we look at life and the responsibility we have to our kids and our family. And
Yes.
and no one teaches us. I mean, we can look up nutrition, maybe how to make a green smoothie, but how do you make this shift? And this is why I think having a coach is so important, because
Absolutely.
it's someone that can kind of help you rewire all these habits, hardwire them, and support you and follow you on them, and let you know that it's okay.
Absolutely well said. And I think also our medical community doesn't have the time to be able to sit down and talk about the nutrition, taking time for yourself, rest. I'm writing a book called 30 Days to Design Your Healing Cancer Journey. And I go through different areas of how to support yourself on the journey. It's tailored towards moms, and basically to say, it is okay. And it's okay. You have choices. Once again, you have time, breathe, take care of yourself. Nutrition, we talk about detoxing, all of these things that you don't know to do. And so I want to take the guesswork out of what a mom should do. And from my research, there are very few things out there for moms. And I figured that out. It's because we're so darn busy being a mom that I, I, I feel like I've gotten away from my book as well, just because I'm busy taking care of my kids, cooking, doing the mom things that I want to do as well. But like I said, I've taken the time to do a blog and working on the book as well to help support. And I think it's important for everyone to have a game plan. It empowers you to know that I've got choices. And once I educate myself, I know that there are so many other wonderful choices out there that are non-toxic, that are healing. And something that was really important to me, Debbie, was I wanted a good quality of life. I wanted to be able to continue to be a mom. I wanted to be able to go to the football games and to be able to support my kids. My kids also volunteer at a camp here in town. I want to be able to be there for them and to volunteer along with them. I wasn't ready to give up that quality of life, and I'm still not. And I feel fantastic. And just a wonderful journey that this has been so far. Like I said, it's a wake-up call. I don't want to call it a blessing, but it definitely has been a wake-up call.
Right, because without that, you would never really change your lifestyle.
No.
Because there's no impetus.
Yes, to make the change.
Right, and now it is kind of a gift that you get to forest bathe and take this time for yourself and do all these things that really, without this happening, it wouldn't have happened. And then you stay on that rat race, which I think is what a lot of us need to learn, how to slow down, find the joy, connect to nature. It's all, besides the nutrition, it's all important. And get to the root cause. Like you said, you kind of figured yours out. And I think a lot of people go on that journey. They have to figure theirs out. So then you have a better path of what to do next.
Correct. And I think a big component of this too is your children. I speak with quite a few moms in the clinic I go to, and I'm a school counselor as well. And so I've been meeting with students that have moms with cancer, and to be able to give them that support. You don't realize how much they're hurting. And I keep seeing the kids, they don't want to show their mom, they don't want to show their dad how much they're hurting. And so I'm learning more about that piece of it too, so I can be a better mom to my kids as well. But I'm hearing, they're afraid they're going to die. Of course, that's one of the first things you think about. Your parent has cancer. My mom's going to die. What do I do? So I see a lot of tears in my office when I'm talking with students as well.
Wow.
Just the unknowing. And I see students that some are pulling away from mom and dad, or mom or dad, whoever has the cancer, but they're having a really hard time coping with it. And I feel like they think they're an island out there, but they're not. And so if I can help even in the kids too, sometimes working with the mom to know to coach the mom on how to share this with the kids as well, I think is important too, because the more moms I talk to, right away they say, my kids, we're concerned about our kids.
Right.
And that's my biggest concern as well too, that my kids are going to be they're going to get through this, and I know they will. I think they're stronger because of it as well. A mom with cancer when you're a teenager is not cool, but we're doing the best we can, and just to be real with them, to give them as many facts as you can. I felt that has been really helpful for my boys on this healing journey as well. There's no guessing game. They know where I'm at. They know when I'm going in for tests. I share the results with them. And so if they have any questions, they know they can talk to me as well. We also have every Sunday where we sit down as a meeting for my family, just to sit and talk and to figure out what's going on, and touch base. And just, I think that's important, to keep up that line of communication with your children, especially.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
That's great. So yeah, you have a psychology background, so you really get that mind, body, spirit connection. Tell me, taking our course, how did you feel that helped you on your journey to help others?
I felt like it filled in the blanks for me. There was a lot that I don't know, and I'll be honest, I'm continually learning. I think this is a life learning process as well. And I felt that I wanted to walk the walk. And so it filled in a lot of blanks of what I didn't know. And as I'm continuing to learn more and more, but it also empowered me. I felt educated me to be able to reach out to others and to be able to help others as well. It has a great information, great support system as well with the other coaches and the information, nutrition. It hits on many great, wonderful topics that can support others on their healing cancer journey too.
Great.
And first I did the Holistic Cancer Coach certificate through BeatCancer.org, and then I felt that I wanted to beef it up, I guess, a bit more. And so I also did the Institute, the IIN program, Institute of Integrative Nutrition. So I have both of those that I've taken on as well.
Yeah, that's great. A lot of people have done both, and I think that's wonderful.
Yes, and I think the more information you can gather, the more educated you become, the more, like I said, you're becoming empowered to be able to help others and to continue your journey too, because I don't really see an end to a healing journey. It's continual. It's lifelong. It's not just you find the cure and you're done. I think a cure is more physical. Healing is whole body, taking into consideration your whole body, making the changes that you need to. If you need to drink more water, if you need to get outside more and exercise, if you need to nap more or rest more, what is that healing journey for you? And I know that I'm not going to go back to where I was. It didn't work for me. And what I'm implementing with the forest bathing, with the meditation, the yoga, it's all been very beneficial. And I feel like I'm a better person, a stronger person because of it.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. Well, thank you so much. Why don't you tell everyone where they can find you?
Sure. I have a website. It's called www.jackie, Jackie, and bye, as in goodbye, bye.com. So jackiebye.com.
There you go. And she's in Minnesota, and
Yes.
she's wonderful. And especially if you're a mom and you have children and you want some counseling and some help healing and staying on that journey, Jackie is a great resource. So again, thank you so much, and thank you for being part of our wonderful coaching family. We're so proud of our wonderful coaches, and we wish you the best on your journey, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you, Debbie. Thank you for what you're doing too. We're a team.
Absolutely. It's nice to be like-minded.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.